What does the world need most this Christmas? True community. That's a great answer. In person with people. Sharing. That's in here. Every one of these answers is in here. Because, by the way, he offers all this. So it's amazing. What is predominantly being offered in the world right now? Short-term happiness.
The ability to be mad at distance.
Yeah.
You can get mad at it.
It's my right to be mad right now, right? Set you straight. What does Santa Claus theology, how does that work? What is it? How does it work? This is not a judgment on whether you do this for your kids or not, or whether you should. But how does it work? Reward if you're good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Works-based.
Works-based, good. And he's around all year to comfort you and really help you, isn't he? To help you along the way. Oh, nice. He's so seasonal and transactional. He's so inconsistent. That's another problem. What he does at your house, he doesn't do at Dan's house. Man, he's just doing different stuff. And then, since you got it all and you knew you didn't deserve it sometimes, you also learned that what we're reforming is, we think this is true, we think he operates on a curve. It's a transactional-based relationship. It grades on a curve. It's the work theology of it's to be, it's up to me. A real problem. And it has us treat others the same. Since we see God that way, and because we tend to think we're God sometimes, that's the way we treat others. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. Carrot and stick approach. Who's been in an office meeting where somebody in a team leader is talking about do they need the carrot or the stick? It happens, all right? Does business work this way? It's deeply ingrained. And so we need to knock it out. It's not how God teaches us. And then, so it doesn't we don't want to be disciples of this pattern, for sure. How competent is it? And where does it fall as far as competencies goes to go this way? Based on the other truth you know, how competent is this? Where would you put it?
Competence.
Unconscious competence. Yeah, I don't quite know enough, but I'm doing stuff. You're certainly on the doing line somewhere. How much knowing you are is tougher, huh? And all these don't fit perfectly, but what we want to see is we move up the line. Jesus is offering everything. He's having you receive it to move up. That's our enemy. Santa Claus, he's a make-believe individual, but he's not a make-believe enemy because it's the way the world is working, okay? Santa is common. It's common every day you see it, okay? Jesus is preeminent. Do we operate sometimes like God keeps score? Here's the thing that matters. Who would like to never operate like that again? Okay. Let's first see we've got some good company. Read this. As Jesus went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? So even the disciples did this. This is kind of sometimes in a sermon you get a little analogy. Right here we're just saying, let's just warm up to see how the world thinks. Even the disciples thought this. And this is chapter 9. We're probably a year and a half in here or more. They've been with him a while and they're asking this question. There's a blind man. Why is that? What sin caused that man to be blind?
Neither this man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. I am the light of the world.
We could stay here till February. He's not punishing you. He's not giving you terrible things because you did something bad. He's giving us exactly what he needs to understand his glory. And he's trying to give us more than we're receiving. And so what we want to do today is receive it, but it's all for the glory of God. This is not the most sympathetic thing. When you're at your sickest, somebody can come to you, well, let me just tell you, this is for the glory of God. But we need to know that in our daily stuff, in the little stuff, and from traffic to why this client didn't do what I asked him to do. We need to know that it's all for him. It's all for his works to be displayed, and he's shining light so we can see it. He wants us to see the light. He wants us to come in there. So we're going to keep going.
And my God will meet all of your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. To our God and Father be the glory forever and ever. Amen.
When we receive Jesus, we know our needs are met. He's been telling this a long time. If the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. I think I lack something, but it's not true. It's not true if I lose my leg in traffic today. It's not true. I don't lack something. I've got a new reality. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. I got a new reality, but He's got my needs, and somehow it's for His glory, for the riches of the glory in Jesus and for the glory of God forever. So that is true. But who basically spent all week thinking this? And what Jesus wants you to do is spend all week thinking this. Oh, I got this little text over here. I need to respond. This is, my needs are met. So I'm whole, so I can meet their needs. I got this. I got that. It's for the glory of God. Every second. The thing that's driving me the craziest, for the glory of God. The thing that's the biggest mountain to climb, for the glory of God. The thing that I'm most excited about, that I think, I finally got it, for the glory of God. You're all wanting something. You're all moving somewhere. And He's just here with you, and He's offering Himself to you 24/7 more than you can think or imagine. Okay, so today, in the next 38 minutes, is that the right math? I think that is, Tom. To understand that Jesus is distinctly preeminent above all things, and that only He can completely meet our needs. Only He. I'm trying to meet it different ways. Let me just go over here and do this thing. But only He can meet it. A newer and deeper relationship with Him will be transformed by receiving what He's given us, by gazing at Him. Sometimes it just starts with gazing at who He really is. That's one more thing I didn't know about Him. And then He sends you out to do likewise. And the benefit of doing likewise isn't to earn it. The benefit of doing likewise is I can't go without Him. I really can't. I've been helping people that might go into ministry or might not go into ministry. But the main thing is you got to receive Him all the time and go. You got to know the joy. The biggest joy of ministry has to be knowing Jesus better. We can't do it without Him. He sent us out. But He's saying receive, receive, receive. Keep receiving. We're going to see what there is to receive about Him. But actually, He's offering everything He's got. Everything. So let's just shout out some things about the superiority and preeminence, which means supremeness, of Jesus. What's something you love about Him? It's just, you can't get your mind around, but you love it. It's hard to get your mind around perfection. My mind's not perfect enough to get it around perfection. What else? Everlasting, never ends is a real problem for me. As a kid, I would lay in bed like, never ends. And I just couldn't, I still have that. What else? He's holding it together. He's got it. Something glorious is going to happen through that. And that's the littlest thing that's going to happen to us this week. Okay, here's just some quick ones. We're going to cover all these. I just want you to know where we're going. If you want a picture of this, take a picture of it. His perfect power is for us. There's a gift, the in-dash gift. In-dash is what you want to receive. He controls all things. He always delivers. Never not once has He failed. He meets God's perfect standard for us. Replacement. He's got it. Why am I worthy? He's worthy. He is with us always. That's what peace is. Jesus is here. He's with us in it. He's relationship based. He is offering you your best friend. Who loves friends? Who's got some good ones? He's better. Because He knows you better than you know yourself. For sure. And then He's offering you heirship. He's offering you to be like Him and to, I'm not sure if I can get all this right now. Well, you're going to have it all in heaven. Who wants something else right now? Get something in your mind that you want right now. Got it? Sir. It's going to be perfect in heaven. You're going to have it. You're going to have it. We don't have to force it. We don't have to control it. You're going to have it. You're an heir of everything in the world. That's going to be joy unfathomable. He gives us glorious work to do. Purpose. Somebody said that to start. That was your first thing, right in here. We want to know we matter. We want to know we're contributing. Well, He's saying receive this, and boy, you'll contribute like crazy. And then He actually makes us like Him. We've covered this the last 2 or 3 weeks in our gratitude lesson too, but a God who says, come be like me. Dig around in the other false gods. You can't find it. He says, come be like me. Okay? We're going to prove all these things.
The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation.
Okay, what's the gift of this? Firstborn, reborn. What do you represent while he's here?
The image of the invisible God.
He's the image of the invisible God. The Son is the radiance of God's glory and the exact representation of his being. That's Hebrews 1:3. What's God like? Who sometimes messes around with that, thinking about it? Like, that's something good to mess around with, by the way. But like, what's he really like? What's he really doing? Is he really? Look at the life of Jesus, and that's who God is. A great, in your chair, Cal, Wednesday morning early. You know, I had a worse question to warm it up, and it was about, you know, it doesn't matter what it's about. People saying, well, he wasn't much of a king. He was humbly moving into everything. He was peacefully moving into everything. The only place he really got recognized as a king was Palm Sunday and mocked as on the cross. Now the crowds followed him like crazy, and people did understand, many understood the presence of God was in their midst. But the king was gentle and lowly and moving into it. So that's what God is. You know, one of our most basic problems of that poor Jolly Red fellow's theology is that we do see God as judging us even while we sleep. And he's moving in to be with you. Just not true. He's offering you new life constantly. The firstborn of creation means he's offering us new life always.
For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him.
What's the gift to receive in this? About 4. Let's just name a couple. Can you receive in this personally? Yeah, come back. So I receive that he's got it. If he made it and he's got it, what else? Evil somehow exists to glorify him. It's defeated, and it somehow exists to glorify him. You are created to glorify him. Through him, and for him. And nothing was made, as John 1 says, nothing was made that was not made through him. So everything. He's causing everything. He's controlling it all.
He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning of the firstborn from among the dead, so that in everything he might have the supremacy.
What's the gift to receive here? Who's tried to hold something together this week? Home, work, try to hold it together? Roommates, hard to hold together. If he's holding it all together, that's a gift. He's got it. He's got it. Then I join him. I join him as a friend and heir. I join him. So the question is, how is he holding it together, and how should I join him? So I receive the peace of knowing he's got it. It's not going to end up any way that he doesn't want it to end up. It's not. Through my mistakes, I made a bunch. He's ended up in the right spot. He's put me in the right spot. He's held it together. He wasn't surprised. The thing I'm trying to do right now. So the quicker I join him, Philip Yancey says, see what the Holy Spirit's doing, see what God is doing, and join him. I think that's a really good way to say it. Like, I want to know in this, he's got it. That's complete assurance. He's got it. The sickness, the company part that's messed up, the friendship that doesn't seem right, he's got it. And that the thing, who's got something in their mind they're trying to put together right now to make it better? Okay. Know that he's got it. Then how do you join? That's a real gift. Know that he's got it right where he wants it. Well, no, but this part's really messed up, Jesus. You don't understand. I know, I got it. That's what he's saying. I got it. I got this thing. He's the beginning and the firstborn from among the dead. So old friend Carter has a view of time that everything's happening at the same time in a way. That's a philosophical view. Has some merits. But if there's a proof text for it, it's this, that he's the firstborn from among the dead. He accomplished this in time that allowed Abraham to go to heaven. So he's the firstborn from among the dead. He's the first to rise from the dead. Before Lazarus rose, he rose. And David says some things about this. Before he was, everything. He's first. He has paved the way. Nobody's going to heaven without him doing that. So he's the firstborn. He's accomplished it. And why did he do it? So that in everything he might have supremacy. I really like preeminence. I stayed true to the NIV in this. I think the ESV said, so that he might be preeminent above all things. He's doing this thing. So now we got the whole clue really. I'm receiving that he's got it, he's holding it together. I'm receiving that he's already paid for it, and it's all about new life. I receive this about his glory, and I'm receiving that if I'll join him now, more preeminence for Jesus, which is more glory for me. As I walk in there, because pointing to him. Not in a selfish way, but in a kind of John Piper hedonism sort of way. If you don't understand that, read Desiring God. It's groundbreaking. It's go for more and more knowing Jesus. Go for more and more joy. Join him.
For God was pleased to have all of his fullness dwell in him, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, making peace through his blood shed on the cross.
What's the gift to receive here? It's so good. You see how it's so invitational? First, he's holding it all together, and he always calls us to join him. Now, with the fullness of God is in him. He said, I can do nothing without the Father. So first of all, they have perfect unity. We've learned that as the Father loves the Son, so we're loved. And then he goes on the night before he was betrayed, right before he's saying, so the unity that we have, God, you and me and the Holy Spirit, that's what I want Tom and Robert and Joel to have with us too. I want these guys in the room to have it, and then I want all the people in the history of the world who learn about me through them to be one. I want them to be one with us. So if he's holding it together and he's saying, come be one with me, and the oneness is the fullness of God. I want to know him better. Who wants to know God better? I know him better, and in making peace, that's what we need. We need peace. Because everybody's stirring up stuff that's not peace. But I cannot be an instrument of peace if I hadn't received his peace. I can fake it, but if I'm faking it, I'm kind of building another little chip on my shoulder, right? I'm just going to make this thing be peaceful. Those stinkers. But if I've received peace and I know I'm covered, if I know I'm perfectly unified with God, I have to do it his way, which is more peace for me. So it's a gift. It's a gift to keep receiving him. He paid for it. I know we've covered that a lot the last couple of weeks, but he paid for it. And so don't stay in a place that's not that. And here's the command. And all this comes together in a minute. Some of this not making sense yet, but write down the thing that you want to receive the most as we go. But read this.
Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God.
Your names are written in the book of life. When? Yeah. The thief on the cross was written in the book of life. When? But he did receive him. He just lived a pretty miserable life until he received him that moment. And then you'll be with me in glory. Just a minute. If I get shot at Houston's, I'm going to be with him in glory in just a minute. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm not asking to be shot. We'll get to that in a second. But we got to receive him. He's saying, receive me. And he's saying, if I'm off, really what I'm off about is not receiving him. If I'm a little frustrated this morning, I'm somehow not receiving him because I'm not seeing the needs of what I'm dealing with. I'm not seeing what he's doing. I might need to cry out. David was so good at that, crying out. He didn't have anybody else to go to. Nobody understood him. cried out straight to him. Most of us have bosses and friends and each other. This group should be that much more about that. And he's saying, receive me. Receive me. Ask me the questions. Ask me the questions. Don't doubt my goodness, but know that I'm with you and for you, and ask me the hard questions. And you'll see, if you'll ask, seek and knock, the answers are there, but you'll have to receive it. Receive to become children of God. What does that mean? What's that to receive? I'm God's. I'm God's. It's so much more than fire insurance. I don't know if you could say that enough. Kind of like I'm just trying to get this paid off. When I keep it at fire insurance, I'm kind of staying in that Santa Claus theology, really. I'll get paid off, it'll be good. I know I got his record's going to pay for it. I got that, he's paying for the naughty and nice part, but it just stops right there. What he's saying is, you're an heir with me. It's all yours. Come and join me. Join me now. Receive your child of Godness now. Receive your future glory the most you can in your, fallen body and mind and spirit as you can. Receive his spirit. Wait, how does it happen? My spirit receives his spirit. His spirit is always inviting me. I just need to receive it, and that'll mess up what's wrong in my mind and heart and feelings and actions if I'm receiving what he's offering. It's in Galatians that way, Paul talks about. He talks about in Romans. When I cry out to him, Abba, Father, I'm asking for his spirit to come into my spirit. And no matter which word you use for him. Help me, Jesus. If you mean it, that's the way of saying, help my spirit. Help me. I want to receive you right now, Jesus. This is a prayer you can pray all the time. He's yours, you're his. I know your testimony is but I need to receive him in this stuff. Michael Davis said, our biggest need is to be like him. I think that's true, but we have to receive him to be like him.
In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
What's the gift here? The more I walk with him, the more I receive him, the more I can walk with him and see what he's doing. I think I see what he's doing. I'm not sure. I'm not saying I'm a prophet. I just think I see what he's doing this thing. And I certainly understand what he's asking me to do in it. I can certainly be faithful. Ken and Vaughn has an amazing sermon on this. I'll commend it to you. It's from November 17th. And and the man born blind is where he starts that way, and the whole story is in there. But he says, pride and shame are kissing cousins. And so first I think I got it. Like maybe my 10-year-old in the golf tryout. I don't need to practice, I got it, till he drops 7 in the Audubon Lake in a row. And then he knows he doesn't make the team. He's melted down, he's in shame. So with us thinking, our pride, thinking we got it, think we can handle this, whether it's going down a dark path, or it's something in business. This business doesn't have to glorify God. Every single thing about this business doesn't have to be about Jesus. That's a dark statement. The only things that are accountable or fungible or storable are money, and so this is, we got to make the money and then we can make it about Jesus. He's saying in the moment, make it about me. But that's pride to think it works some other way. He gives us moments to love people. He gives us moments to receive, and if I don't understand that, the first thing I need to do is receive him. I can't go do it in some works-based methodology. I got to know that this moment is his, not mine, and when I think I got it, it's pride. But if I receive him in the light, I walk with him, I know he's got it, I'm less likely to turn off this direction or that direction, a self-righteous direction or a shameful direction, either one, and and I stay in the light the whole time. It's possible to stay in the light. In fact, he gives us a lot of chances to stay in the light as we go to something good. If he says, receive him, know he's got it, and then the light wants to be in community, exactly what Joel was saying. The light wants to if they're not sure in this moment that they're receiving Jesus and that this is leading to his glory, this is leading to that, then they want to talk about it with people. They can receive it straight from God. I can receive it through his word. I can receive it through his people. I want to be around him. I want to know it better. He defined love. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down his life for his friend. That's love.
I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I've called you friends, for everything that I have learned from my Father, I have made known to you.
He's giving us what we know. Everything I've learned from my Father, I've made known to you. So what we need to know in human form, for sure we know. We know more than these guys when he said this in the upper room after he washed their feet. We know what we need to know to move forward. We know how to kind of get back to the light that he's offering.
Jesus wept.
What's the gift to receive here? He knows you better than you know yourself. When we go down the pride road, he already sees we're going to end up in the shame road, and he's remorseful. He's not mad at you. He's remorseful. He paid for it. He's more present in your afflictions than you are. I have severe ADD, but we'll could bounce around our afflictions. He understands them all the time. He's totally present. He came near. Here's what Keller says about this in a sermon called The Deity of Jesus, which is on our site. Only through Jesus does God enter and share in our suffering. In the incarnation, he became weak. This preeminent king showed us that the way of God is to become humble and weak and need a mother, a little baby, hungry, suffering, wounds, death. He didn't show up 33 years and bug out of here 40 days later after the resurrection. He's in you. He's with you. He's present. Receive the present of his presence. Receive the gift of his presence. He's always here. He's always with you. He took the wounds. That's what he gives us. He gives us that more than anything.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
Rest. Does this sound stressful? No. He's present. That preeminence, that holding it all together, the light that's showing you he's got it. All these attributes, same can be friends. It's going to be the most gentle friendship you have. If it's like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Drive is generally from the devil, a drive, but following is from Jesus. Now I'm moving in close enough to know what I'm supposed to do. Again, I'm not killing the word driven forever, like he's really driven to do that, but what's driving him? That's what matters. If I got to do it, 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 it's probably not from Jesus. If it's to be, it's up to me, it's probably not from Jesus. Come and receive this humble in heart. Come and receive rest for your souls. If I'm at rest, man, I'm going to be at peace. I'm going to not think I have to do it. The ideal has become real. He's ideal in every single way. He's preeminent in every single way. And this is what it will give you, okay? It will make you an idealistic realist. Yes, that little restaurant closed down. God's going to do something better with it. And you've got something that's bothering you right now. It's true. Name it and claim it. So I can say, this is not good. That's not good. I wonder what God's doing there. I know he's going to do something really good with it. He gives you a patient hope. It doesn't have to happen today. He's so patient. If it's got to happen today, happen today, happen today, or else, it's probably not from him. And it's not that you're not supposed to do what you're thinking. It's that you're just not supposed to be stressed out about it, because he's going to make it happen if it's supposed to happen. It's the stress. It's the non-rest. If I'm not resting in it, rest in it. He's saying rest in it. It gives you splendor in the ordinary. Now, I had extra time, so I went extra for a second. But how could you have a splendor? What does it mean to have splendor in the ordinary? Who in here is splendor in the ordinary?
We all are in the ordinary.
He's in you. He's with you. He's for you. Now, how today? Somebody give an example of how you could take an ordinary moment and make it glorious. Make it full of splendor. What do you have to do first? Receive him. Receive him. I got to know he's in me. I got to know he's for me. I got to know he's got it. He's holding it all together. And I got to receive he's got it. And then how can I move forward shining his light? Image of God reciprocation is certainly glorious. Now, there are ways, and you're not going to be on a call today, and you're not going to do a text today, and you're not going to be involved in anything that's not a chance to do it, not a chance to have a peace that nobody else in the room has because you've received it, to shine light in a different way. Oh, the issue is it's foggy. We need to get some light in this thing, clear it up. So when you're trying, and a lot of work is clearing stuff up. If I clear this thing up and I do it with peace and light and the fact that he's going to get it right, that's good. You got perfect power. Your God controls all things and delivers. He meets the standard for you. He's paid for it. Let him pay for it. Don't be guilty. He's with us to give you peace. He's relationship based. He makes you a friend and an heir. There's all the joy in that. That covers those other two things. The joy, Tom, the joy of it. The joy of it. Somehow, and I get through with this pride, and maybe I had the shameful, I'm going to go back to joy. I'm going to go there. I know this. So let's go faster. Let's receive what he's offering. He gives you glorious work today. He says, go be my light today. Receive my light. Go be my light. You're going to be like me. This is how you're going to be like him. Dear friends, now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. But we know that when Christ appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Friends, children of God, souls that last forever, everything you're going to be, you don't quite get yet. But everything you need to know, you've been given in God's Word. That's what he said back in John 15. You have what you need, but you're going to be way more glorious than you can think or imagine. Way more. You're going to be like him. When you see him, you're going to become like him. Crazy. Wow. When we see him as he is, he's going to say, this is what I've been calling you to the whole time. Receive it. Receive it. We're not going to be God, but we're going to be like him the way Jesus is like God in glory forever. Receive it. Friends, receive it. Children, you're God's. Lord, you're so good to us. You have given us what we need. You're a direct access to you. We don't have to go through anyone else. Your Son paid for direct access. We're not united to you. We're friends of his and loved by you. We're your heirs. We're your children. You've got us. You're making all things new. We get to join you. What a gift. Thank you, King Jesus. In your name, amen.